we're in the Palais-royal where Aimée Leduc's next investigation takes place in Murder in the Palais-royal. And over to the right, you can't see very well because of the scaffolding, is the Comédie Française. And over here, but here's the garden of the Palais-royal. It's really like a little village in Paris. And Aimée comes here from her office, which is on Rue du Louvre, just a few blocks away. And I can't really say too much because I'd give the plot away, but things happen in the metal shop under the arcade, something in a little restaurant. There's underground passages right under as we speak, which I went to once. The whole area is webbed by tunnels and water tunnels, and from the Ministry of Culture, below the underground where they have their cafeteria, there's a tunnel that leads to the Comédie Française. And things happen all over here. Just imagine it at night, dark, just lit by those lanterns, and the click of high heels in the deserted arcades. What happens behind the scenes in Murder in the Palais-royal is très confidentiel. It's very calm and quiet in the daytime, but at night there's murder. Imagine the shadows, the misty globes, the fountain, the little clip-clop of the high heels, and a scream! Upstairs, on the upper levels, they're private apartments in the Palais-royal, but also a lot of them are kept for government officials, like from the Ministry of Culture and the Ministry of State, for their pied-à-terre. But it's also behind us is the apartment of Colette, where she lived in a small apartment during the war, and after the war she got a bigger apartment on the upper floor. And sometimes when you walk close at night you could see the frescoes painted on the ceiling. And she wrote in bed there, and over here lived Jean Cocteau, her friend, and Colette loved to come out, calling this her garden in Paris, and feeding the stray cats. This was owned by Cardinal Richelieu, among many of the historical personages, and some of the mansion are left, and that was taken over by the Ministry of Culture. And one of the dukes bought the land in the garden, and he thought, I'm going to use this and make money. So he opened it up, and he built the arcades all around to have stores and shops, and there were gambling dens and the first cafes, and became quite a center and a garden of iniquity. And at one time it was covered over with I think there was a wooden structure, then a glass structure, burned down in the fire. But I've heard a story that Napoleon would come here before, of course, the revolution, and he would woo Josephine in the garden here, walk her through. And Robespierre planned and hatched many plans in the Café de Chartres, which is in the Grand Vefour, which is behind us, which is now a 20-star restaurant in the Michelin Guide. In one of these apartments, Jean Cocteau lived, and he's just across from his neighbor Colette. And here's the theater Palais-royal, very kind of in the Eiffel Tower style with all the metal and turn of the 20th century. There's a scene in the Passage, Véro d'Oda, and it's an old covered passage. And here's some art students, maybe from the École des Beaux-Arts, sketching the Passage, Véro d'Oda. Many years ago, I was waiting at the bus stop that used to be right here, and I looked up and I saw Duluc Detective at number 18 Rue du Louvre, and I thought, I think I need to go talk to the Duluc detective, especially to help my story. And so I went inside and met Madame Duluc, and she told me about the history of their agency, and so she gave me a whole tour and talked about what they did. So I after I wrote Murder in the Marais, I said, well, I'd like to use your Leduc detective.